welcome to another Bloomz, Babble and Beyond. We do hope you're enjoying this series of chats. It gives you a chance to see what's going on in our art world, and also maybe you get inspiration to try other things, try other types of art. That's exactly what the chat is today. You'll see it's called Bloomz on Tour, and that's for a really good reason, because my fellow artists around me here set themselves a challenge, all of them. And this challenge is being recorded, and it'll go out as 7 episodes, premiering on YouTube, starting on the 6th of April. And basically the challenge was, these artists, they are joined by the fact that they love art, their camaraderie, their sharing of ideas, and their love of their each individual type of art. But that's also where they're divided, because they are very specific in the type of art that they do. So we thought it would be a great challenge for each of them to try each other's art. Is that a good thing? We will find out in the series that you're about to see starting the 6th of April. But we thought we'd come on this morning just to chat about what it's like to try art that maybe you've never tried before, to go outside of the comfort zone, and to see what it's like to be a Bloomz artist on tour around the world trying different art forms. So, ladies, how's it been then? Sort of part way into it. You're looking very tentative. The challenge was set for each of you to set a task for one particular episode, and the task was not revealed until the envelopes were opened and you got to see and read and hear what was expected of you for that particular artist's challenge. I know there were lots of different reactions, and some of it was horror, some of it was, oh, that'd be interesting. And they're probably art forms you've never tried before. So we're not going to go into details of where we are in the sort of in the sequence of events so far, but trying art outside of your norm, what emotion does that give you? Steph, we'll start with you.
Well, I think the best thing to do is to set the bar very low. Which I would say is the reason for my success.
Why do you think I came to you first?
But yeah, no, it's great because we all talk about thinking outside the box in our own art. And one of the great things about the Bloomz is that we are, open to everybody else's ideas and things. But to actually embrace them and do them is a whole different ball game. But involved in this as well is to encourage others. This isn't just us doing it for everyone. Obviously, have a laugh, join in, but wouldn't it be great if other people saw the tasks that we're setting and actually go, I'll have a go at that. Because you can see what we've done, how we've done it, good, bad, ugly, whatever. We've said we'll show whatever we turn up. And that's the whole point of it, is to not be scared of it, isn't it? And that's why my setting the bar low is a joke and everything, but it is also, it means I'm not scared of doing whatever. Because I have no expectations.
People watching this now, they'll be able to see from your captions exactly what sort of art you normally do. Cindy, watercolor animal artist. Julie paints in wax. Elisa brings out the emotions of females in her form. Fiona, oils and landscapes. Mac, very different visual artist, used chewed gum and all sorts of other ideas. Sammy, abstract artist through and through. Steph, fibre sculptor. So none of you really overlap in any degree that's going to make it easy for you to do these tasks. And it wasn't just, have a go at watercolors. It was a set task for each of the artists. And the idea was to go outside your comfort zone and not to use any of your normal processes to attempt that task. Sammy, the first task, we'll mention the first task we will see, which is Cindy's task on the 6th of April, is watercolors. Your face when that was revealed was a picture.
It's ice water went through my veins.
Why is that?
I've never been so scared in all my life.
But why? I mean, you're a fantastic artist. You do wonderful abstracts. I know you use acrylics and mixed media, but why does watercolor fill you with that horror?
Because whenever I've tried watercolor, it totally runs away from me. I have no control over it
It's water.
whatsoever. But what the way it works, you know, it's just, it has a life totally of its own. Where with my acrylics or other mediums that I use, I can thicken it and I can make it more than to have more control over it. But yeah, no, all the tasks, all of them are totally out of my comfort zone, not how I work. And that was the biggest learning for me. That really was, because it shows that I'm actually a control freak and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, that was going through my mind straight away there. But your work,
And
the work that you produce, your abstract work, doesn't really, I mean, you wouldn't say that is so controlled, because it has got that freedom, and yet the medium you're using, you can have some control over it, but still make it look like a free approach to that piece.
I think it's all to do with my process, Steve, of how I start my work. And I've not been allowed to do that with any of the girls' work at all.
And that is,
And
you
so that
normally write
is
an essay, don't you, about
yeah,
your piece before.
yeah. So that is been the hardest thing,
All you have
is
to do is
being
mention
as having to just
intuition.
go for it.
Mention intuition to Sammy, and she goes, oh.
Yeah.
Cindy,
Yeah.
Cindy, did you realise you'd have this effect on some people when you set your task of watercolour?
No, I thought it'd be easy for most of them. I didn't expect any of them to think it was a difficult task. I thought I was actually pretty generous in making it a pretty easy task overall. So, yeah.
But you've been using watercolours all your artistic life, haven't you? Virtually. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Long time. Yep.
So the water, you can make those watercolor paints do what you want to do. So you can give some control over them within what they want to do themselves. You can sort of guide them.
Yeah.
Whereas Sammy,
Yeah.
like probably juggling jelly, wasn't it, Sammy?
Yeah. It had a life of its own. I'm sort of hoping, oh, I hope this mark ends up where it's supposed to. And at one point I was like doing that with the paper to try and get it to go in the right direction.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, if she wants to.
Julie, out of all of the tasks that your fellow artists have set, was there any particular one that you thought, oh, I'm going to really struggle with that?
100%. Well, 3.
Name and shame?
Sammy. Thought of all of that preparation, I just dive straight in, completely go on intuition, and Sammy's just freaking me out because I've got to write forever before I even put, you know, even down to like grid, when people grid out pink paint, I just can't do it. I just have to dive straight in, and then I respond to what's on the paper. So Sammy's is freaking me out somewhat. Stephanie's, I went to order some wool. I looked on the website, and it could have all been written in Chinese for all those, and I've shut that one away until I've got my head on it. I was just, even the materials for Stephanie's was like, oh my God, I don't know where to begin. And then Max, oh my goodness, yeah, that's another whole one. So I'm kind of looking forward to it because I like the plastics and the heat gun and everything, but equally there seems to be an awful lot there, and I'm like, okay. So I think once I get onto them and actually start them, I think often it's the anticipation of what's to come, rather than the others.
Right.
Whereas Cindy's, Elise's and Fiona's projects, I felt I instantly connected with them. I was like, Cindy got us making watercolor paint. I'm like, oh, I like that. I've never done that before, you know. And I'm like, that ignites my playful. Ooh,
You must have enjoyed that part of it, Sammy, making your own watercolor paints. Surely you enjoyed that.
I made just the one colour, unlike Julie, who made a range. Just saying.
You only had to make one,
which
but
is coming
Julie-
out in the summer.
Mac. Do you get that reaction a lot to anybody that's tried the sort of art that you do, using chewed gum? Have you ever had anybody do it before where you've instructed them what to do?
Not in my chewed gum, but we when I was a student, there was a kind of one of the tasks we needed to do was to do a piece using what we thought was, or how another artist within the group approached the work. And someone did mine, and I think they thought it looked very easy, but in fact when they came to do it, they missed a whole, it was just the simple placement of something rather than the thought which had gone behind it. So it can be deceptive.
Because that's where your work sometimes differs, is that it's stages, and each stage is a reflection on what you've just done and thought about where to go next and why you're doing it, which is exactly opposite to what Julie just said about instant intuition, and probably not really. I know there's intuition involved in yours, but I can see the difference and what Julie was trying to get at.
Yeah, I suppose I've kind of developed a kind of intuitive, analytical, so they both work together.
Right.
Yeah. So they happen in layers.
And how are you finding having to do all the other types of arts? Is there any that you particularly are looking forward to, rather than, let's go on the positive rather than negative?
Well, I am looking forward to all of them. All of them are challenging in a way. I think the most difficult aspect for me is, like, I've not used watercolor since something like 2007. I've done representational drawing, which I did the last one life drawing in 1999. So I felt embarrassed when it came to draw.
But
to do Cindy's task, because I know what to do, but my hand and eye coordination was rather rusty. So I was getting over that. But once I got over that and thought, okay, you haven't done it for a long time, just see where it comes, and then gradually, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because something
that's where setting the bar low works.
Once you started it, it must have brought back memories of, because we always remember everything, and it's like riding a bike. You never don't know how to ride a bike if you've ridden one before. It's just that you don't probably stay on so much, or you're not so steady. But
no, that's right. And as someone pointed out, Cindy's been using her watercolors for a long time, so you get to understand the materials. You can feel what it's going to do, and you know the techniques to use. Whereas when you're not used to it, it's kind of like you're having to learn on the job, and only having one piece to do. There's lots of mistakes, so. But you're learning all the time, and I like that.
And that's what the whole idea of these tasks are, is not to be scared. There's that initial fear, but it's sort of getting over that initial fear and grasping it. And, as I know with Steph and Cindy's task, I'm not going to reveal anything, but she was quite surprised at how it turned out. Elisa, your approach to your own art is very, very specific. You bring out the female form, the power of the female, the emotion, and you're faced with these different ways of working. What's it been like for you?
I found immediate connection with Sammy, which is really the opposite from me. I think that she pushed me to investigate how I could link my emotions to the music. And I really concentrated on what I had in my head, like images, and it was very, very funny. I really don't know if the final result will please her, but I had so much fun. In some ways, I had some advantages on Stephanie's challenge, because I had previously tried needle felting, so it was easy for me, and the outcome, I like it very much. And what about Julie's? Okay, it took me forever to convince me to buy a heat gun, because I was scared about trying works art. And I was alone that morning at home, and I said, okay, now I had just 2 days to finish this, because I had to put some pressure on myself to find the courage to start. And then I did it, and I was very pleased seeing that it was really something new that I could use in the future. And I really don't know if I will ever learn to do it properly, but it's like a weapon in your collection. I really don't know if you understand me.
Yeah.
It's something that you can use. Who knows, our head will mix everything and create something new and original. So everything is stimulating, and yes, it's very good to try out new things.
That's the great thing about these tasks, is that as established artists, you may pick up 1 or 2 things that you're doing and think, I could actually adapt that and use that in my own art going forward. Has that applied to you, Fiona? Have you found anything that you think, I might try that in my oil landscape?
I'm not sure about trying it in my oils, but I've certainly enjoyed all of the projects that I've done so far. So I've just got 2 left to do, because I'm feeling very smug here.
Newly retired, plenty of time on their hands.
No, it's the one I think that worried me the most on reading it was Sammy's one. You know, I think along with several of us, you know, writing an essay about it first, which I did. And in fact, I started writing and kept thinking, oh, and this, something, and that. So I ended up writing 4 pages, which totally.
That's the idea, isn't it?
I thought I'd do 1 page and that'd be it. And I think that really did help when I actually started the painting. And I'm not saying it's a good painting, but I think it did then convey what I was feeling about that music and what it meant to me on a personal level. So I can understand why Sammy does that. I'm not sure if I'll be doing it for all my paintings.
Will you take any bit of that sort of, not doing the essay, but was there any element of, you say you enjoyed doing Sammy's, is there any element of that that you may bring into your mind just when you're doing your work?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've always tried to convey the sense of being in that place from my memories and everything, but maybe I'll focus a little bit more on exactly what feeling I want to be most prominent in the painting, and whether other people feel that from my painting is, you know, they may feel a completely different emotion, of course, because we each look at an artwork and interpret it in our own way based on our preferences, our experiences, where we are at that time, and so on. But yeah, I think that might inform my work going forwards. The needle felting, I confess I have done that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't end up with too many wounds, and that was great fun. Cindy's one, it's like, you know, I've seen lots of demos, I've read lots of articles and things, and I could tell you just about all the theory of watercolor. As we all know, theory and practice are not the same. But I did enjoy it even so, and I did enjoy making up the paint as well, just the 1 color in my case, like you, Sammy. And it's a fantastic color. I love it when you get the light on it. It's because it's iridescent, metallic, iridescent, yeah. And yeah, so I did enjoy that one, and so I've got 2 left to do at the moment. The encaustic wax for Julie's was really good fun. Even though I should have maybe shown more of my first attempt. I was just so embarrassed about it, and I just thought no. And then because it looked so awful, and I thought I don't know what on earth to do with it, I then just used it as a test sheet for testing different methods and techniques that Julie had put in her videos. But yeah, then I confess I did another one instead. But yeah, it's
First one's normally the one to use, you know.
yeah.
It's like lots of things. The first take of a filming is usually the best.
You haven't seen it.
What I'm
You haven't
getting
seen my
from all of
finished one.
you is what I'm getting from all of you is, yeah, there was some trepidation, there was a little bit of fear, but you're thoroughly enjoying the whole process. And as Steph alluded to earlier on, we're not doing this just for ourselves or for yourselves. It's actually to encourage other people. Maybe people watching the Bloomz on Tour shows that we put out have never done any crafts before, any art before, and want to have a little go. These tasks are not that difficult that they can't have the sheets of instructions that the artists give and try it for themselves.
And also not have to
They may be
spend masses of money on things, because I
Yeah.
didn't have any of the art, but because I know a lot of you guys have perhaps dabbled or I had some of the, paints and things. I didn't have anything. So I deliberately went to the likes of Hobbycraft and the works and just got the cheapest. I didn't get the expensive and anything. I got a big set of watercolors, cheap. The oils, that was just in a set. So you don't have to actually spend masses of money. You can actually play. And I know Julie with hers, she deliberately did her bit so that we could try encaustic wax without actually spending loads of money, because you can, like with all of us, you can go mad, can't you, once you've decided to go with something. So it's important to say that anybody can have a go and not spend masses of money. You can just go to your local craft shop and buy the bits, and it doesn't have to be the best ones. What
we're going to do is each time we broadcast one of the Bloomz on Tour episodes on the Bloomz website, there'll be that task highlighted, obviously details of the artist, but also the envelope sheets that you lot actually got and opened and saw, with the list of ingredients, should I say, materials that you need, so you can have a go as well. Anybody can have a go, and that shows you, and you'll probably find it less fearful than these guys did, because they are artists who have got their own specific art form. You're just thinking, I'm going to try a bit of encaustic, I'm going to try a bit of fibre sculpting. And this is the whole idea of trying art in all its forms, is to not worry about the end result. All you've got to worry about is having fun doing it, enjoying the process. And you're all really enjoying it. I can tell that. I know it was great to see the fear on your faces. As that's, and I'm saying that you're probably wondering why I'm not involved. It's because I'm actually narrating the series. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't want to have a go at these anyway.
Well, the thing is, we're doing it instead of our show this year, aren't we?
That's right, instead of the Bloomz show, the art show, yes.
Yeah. So, and you're normally Bosley are in charge. So you're Bosley in charge of Bloomz on Tour.
But I must admit, there are some that I would like to dabble in at some point. But I've already had a go at needle felting. Brilliant, aren't I? Absolutely. Sorry? It was a sleeping fox. You said it was like roadkill.
Oh, that's what it was, right.
Yeah. So anybody else want to add to what we've just said? Any closing comments about trying different art forms?
I think for my part, certainly, if anybody watching has any queries when they see the shows, if it's anything about my one, I'd be very happy to, answer any questions that I can, and I'm sure that goes for the other ladies as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll put all the contact details, like you say, Fiona, when we'll put it up on the website, and for each artist we'll put who and contact, so that, and if someone wants to have a go and ask you what you think, if they're having a go and things. So
yes, that's the thing that I hadn't mentioned, is that if you want to have a go at the Bloomz on Tour challenges and you'd like to then submit your piece that you make or you paint or you create to be constructively commented on by the artists that set the task, then we will happily accept those submissions, and you might even allow us to put it on a little gallery on our website, because it's important to show it's never too late to start art. It's never too late to play with different ideas, and it's never too late to find joy in doing different things. And art is a great therapy, as I know lots of you, me included, if use our art as a way of de-stressing. Sometimes we're in the mood to do it, sometimes we're not. But I know my first port of call, if I'm feeling a little bit tense, is down the workshop and fiddle about to make another lamp. And I know all you do the same to your studios. Steph's stabbing away with her needles. Sam is just chucking not watercolors, but acrylics at a canvas and coming up with some beautiful designs. It's just wonderful. And we'd like to welcome you all into the world of art. And it's a simple world to enter. You just tap lightly on our door and we'll open it and we'll let you in and welcome you with open arms. Thank you very much, everybody, for this exciting Bloomz Babble and Beyond today. And just to remind everybody, the Bloomz on Tour episodes start on YouTube, premiering on the 6th of April. The time eludes me, but just check our website. You'll be...
subscribe to the Bloomz YouTube channel.
Yes, subscribe to the Bloomz YouTube channel and you'll be told when it's premiering. You get told in advance when the first one is Cindy's task. I'm not going to reveal what it is, but it is a wonderful watercolor task. And you'll get to see everybody's end result, including Sammy's. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining us on this Babble and Beyond. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.